How we doing, everybody? Dommy Rici here. On a Friday, decided to do a little baseball today. Started at the last minute. It was such a weird morning. I didn't have a lot of lineups, pitching changes. I was seeing different pitches changing. Like in Cincinnati, at first I seen Sessa, then I seen Minor. So it's been one of those days, and that's what we're going to find out towards this. What's it, maybe 12, 13 games or something left? That's what we're going to find out is going to happen. Late lineups. What are these teams doing? Juggling lineups, getting some guy. You know what we don't think about is besides the playoffs, which is we all know what teams do. They start resting players. Maybe they start trying to get some other pitches ready. Things like that. But it's the teams that aren't playing for anything that you got to watch out for. Sometimes these guys are still playing for contracts. These guys are still playing for numbers. So it does matter just because it's a game like our opener, Chicago, Pittsburgh. Perfect example. We don't know who's playing for contracts and who's not, things like that. So, incentives. So something to think about as we wind down to this road to the playoffs. We'll talk a lot more tomorrow. We'll do light it up on noon. We'll keep on doing that on Saturdays until baseball is over with. Playoffs coming soon, and tomorrow we'll jump into what we're starting to get close to be the picture in the playoffs. Last night, a couple notes from last night. Pretty interesting night last night. Of course, in the Yankees clinched the playoff, and of course, a Donaldson walk-off. The guy's been doing it all year. Pretty amazing. Yanks clinched the playoff. Another walk-off was Mookie Betts. Dodgers get their 104th win. What else can we say about that? Let's see. What else? Oh, Colton Kramer last night. Colton Kramer. Colton Wong, career. 3 home runs for the Brewers. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. What a night that was. He hit that last one, just made it into the right field foul line. That ball just made it, and what a shot. So shout out to Wong. Good job by him. Donovan on the Cardinals. They won that game. I had the Cardinals last night. Thank God, a grand slammer. So sometimes we get the luck is with us. Sometimes, right? We can't always. We never refuse to be lucky, and I never say that luck isn't part of this game because it definitely is, and there's no way to get around that. Mancini gets a big stand and in Baltimore as he deserved. I'm not surprised there, but he did get one. What else? There was something else. Oh yeah, the Cubs, the pitcher Wenzinski, 9-pitch, immaculate inning, 9-pitch, 3-out inning, which was the weird thing about that. Not that someone had an immaculate inning, that a Cub had an immaculate inning. Last time it happened was 2004. So anyhow, that little bit of last night. And Judge, besides being a home run hitter, which we know we didn't hit one last night, but besides being a home run hitter, if you see the highlights of the Yankee game, he threw out. I forgot who it was that he threw out. Going, on a double over his head, ball bounced off the wall, one hop. He just blasted that ball right into second base, threw the guy right out, beat him out of a double. So, Judge ain't just a hitter, that's for sure. He's really good in the outfield, and he has a rifle for an arm. And like I told someone yesterday, oh yeah, as a tweet as I answered my boy JJ from Run Pure Bets mentioned something about how deserving Judge is, and I told him he would look good in the blue and orange uniform in Citi Field. I'm sure not too many Yankee fans like that comment. All right, so today, Chicago-Pittsburgh, game 1. Interesting game, I took the Pirates here, minus 113 when I took them. I'll see if I can see what the current line is as I'm talking. Listen, I think they're a better team. They did, if the price wasn't bad, they did take some money today. They opened up at plus 102. Now I'm seeing minus 116. I mean, when you see that dog, I didn't want to take them last night. I didn't like them that much. But today, when I seen that money coming on them, and there's a lot I liked about them. the last 30 days versus righties, they are striking out a lot, but you know, and Javier did give up 4 runs his last outing in Colorado. Um, against Colorado in Wrigley. So I think he could get hit. I think the Pirates could hit him. And I just think they're better bats. So not to spend too much time on these games, I did go with Pittsburgh. And you're right. And now and as I'm talking, this is one of the games that now I didn't even realize that the pitchers got changed in this game, right? So Bryce Wilson is pitching, and it actually went up, and I missed that this morning. So my apologies, but I stayed bet. I mean, I'm on the bet already. And Wilson, I'll tell you. Let's see how Wilson's been. You know, his last three, I've 1-1. He hasn't been pitching too well. His ERA is over 6. I might be adding an over to this game, and let's see. Hasn't pitched, obviously he only pitched at last year he was in Atlanta. That's right. He was in Pittsburgh, then went to Atlanta and then came back to Pittsburgh. But he's 3-9. Like I said, 6 ERA. He pitched almost 100 innings already. I was not aware of the pitching change, but be that as it may, that's the game I'm on. So we'll just move on to the next one. Let's see what kind of line movement that was. It stayed the same all the way through. It's still 8. I'm seeing -115, -116. The wind moved it to -122. But that's of course because of wow. Okay, let's go to the next one. I got all confused on that game for some reason. Like I said, this morning was very, very strange. Next game up. Did I have what? Oh, Washington, Miami, Josiah Gray. We were talking about this morning on Jimmy's show. I mean, I don't have a look on this game, but I mean, Gray's pitched okay. He had a lot of strikeouts, but giving up a lot of home runs though lately. And what's he have? What's he have here? 73 strikeouts in 75 innings. But on the road, he has a 3.96 ERA, 5-2 on the road. You know what it is? The Marlins bats are just not hitting. They versus righties in the last 30 days, their on base percentage is dead last. The ISOs was like it was like 27, 28. Things like that. I don't like to talk too much about those analytics, but that's how it was. So my brain freeze before when I was talking about Javier. I thought the pitching change. I thought Pittsburgh was pitching somebody else, but Wilson. As I was talking about Asada, I was talking about Javier. So that's what screwed me up. Who the hell knows? Okay, so we'll move on from that. So Washington, Miami. I mean, gun to head. I guess I would go with Washington. I mean, they are a dog. I don't know why Miami did get some money. -132, open up at -125. It's kind of I don't know. I mean, Miami's not hitting at all. So these two teams, I couldn't even give you a bet that that I would make. So I'm off that game. This next game I am on though, Milwaukee against let's see here. Milwaukee against what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? Let's make some money is right. I don't know how it was with you, man, but I got all my notes were all screwed up today. All my things were I couldn't get lineups. I didn't have right pitches down. One of those mornings, man. That's what happens. I got football on my mind. I got baseball. Trying to figure out making some some last minute changes, see what's going to go happen in the playoffs. But yes, let's make some money. So, Mike, I did take Pittsburgh, like I said. I don't know if you heard from the beginning. But now Milwaukee, Cincinnati. I did make a bet on this game. I got the Brewers team total over 4.5, -130. I think they should be able to hit Mike Minor. Mike Minor was pitching well for a little while, and then all of a sudden he just started, going downhill. Last 2 games, we know he hasn't pitched well. 9 earned runs in 8 innings against Pittsburgh and the Cardinals. He let up 4 homers. He has a home ERA of 6.22, and on and on. Milwaukee needs the game. Milwaukee's bats seem to have lit up a little bit lately. I like Lauer. He's not a bad pitcher. They had two different pitches listed for today. I think Alexander was the other pitcher that was listed, and that's what I started capping him, as a matter of fact, and then switched over. I do like the. I do. I also. And that's another thing. I did bet the 8.5 last night, and I mentioned it on betting with the bag today. But I would recommend as at a 9. I think there's going to be runs in this game. I like Milwaukee's team total over the best though. In case Cincinnati don't hit, but they should be able to get a couple of runs off of Lara. His let's see what he's done. Let's see if I can get his last 10. I've been looking at the last 10, last 5, things like that. With a lot of these pitches, see what their average kind of thing is. Like Lauer, for instance, his last 10 games that he pitches, averaging 5 innings, 5.1 innings, 4 strikeouts, 16 outs, 5 hits, 2.4 walks, 2.5 earned runs. So he's not pitched bad. That's a last 10 average. His last start was a loss, September 7th at Colorado, and then another loss at Arizona. Then he won at home versus the Cubs. Those are his last 3 starts, and he won versus the Dodgers in L.A. Actually, he pitched on the 17th and the 22nd. He lost on the 17th, won on the 22nd. So Lauer's not a bad pitcher. I like Milwaukee tonight. I didn't really love the line. Let's see where it's at now. Let's see. But I pulled up today. I like looking at different lines and stuff, different places. Sometimes I pull up like the DraftKings ones. That's the consensus of all their DraftKings outlets. And like today, I got the Vegas lines up. South Point Circa, Golden Nugget, Westgate Wind Station, like that. Caesars. And let me see, Milwaukee in the last 10 minutes, Station went to minus 157. And over 8.5 to minus 120. So there's still some 8.5s out. I got it last night on Bet Online, but it was at 9 this morning, and it's been like that all day. Westgate has it at 9. A few guys had this 8.5 juiced. Mirage has it at 9. So I would recommend the 9 as an overplay for that game. And I would also which I bet at 8.5. But like I said, I'd recommend 9, and I did bet the team total. Next game is Red Sox Yankees tonight. Listen, Cole's been letting up runs and stuff, but hasn't pitched bad. Rich Hill on the road has not been good at all. Rich Hill had his little run this year. He was looking okay for a little while, and it's Rich Hill, right? So he's getting old. He's getting up there. And we know, Cole hasn't pitched well all year long, but he's pitched okay. And his last time against the Red Sox, he had 10 strikeouts, 4 earned runs. There could be runs tonight in this game. I did take the Yankees. What do you think about this game, Mike, with the Yankees? Yeah, I agree, Mike. Yeah, football has me. We think alike too much. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I did take. Where the hell did I put that? Okay, I got papers everywhere. I'm the worst. And I'm sorry if you guys hear shuffling papers sometimes. I got to get better at that. The Yanks, I took minus 113, the run line, minus 113. Like I always say, I don't really like taking run lines in the minus, but I think the Yankees are going to smash tonight, Rich Hill. I wouldn't be surprised if the over hit in this game. Where is it at now? Boston. I mean, at 7.5 seems low to me. I didn't check the weather. I don't know. Did you see any weather tonight, Mike? With the wind blowing in, because it is a little windy here, but it's beautiful. It got a little cold out in New York, but I didn't see which way the wind was blowing in Yankees Field. Let me see if I can get this up right here. Yeah, here we go. Weather for tonight: Yankees blowing out to right field, 11.2 miles an hour. I talk about it all the time, and now I'm going to have to mention. I'm going to have to DM Jimmy. That, first of all, what is it, 302 or something? And that right field porch is just probably one of the shortest in baseball, if not the shortest one of the shortest for sure, tied for the shortest. I don't really know the dimensions in these stadiums, but that right field porch is short, and when wind is blowing out there, they dunk those balls out there all night long. Why this is at 7.5? Cole seems to still get those numbers. Cole just has that public perception that he's pitching well, and he's really not. He's giving up. I mean, he's pitching well, but he's giving up runs. The games have been higher scoring anyhow. Let's go to him quick. I don't want to spend too much time on any of these games. Tomorrow we'll do light it up tomorrow at noon. We'll have more time. I'll see if I can get Noli back on with me, and Mike, we got to get you on when we do the playoffs or something. We got to get you on. You anytime you're welcome to come on. Football too on our Sunday show 3:30. We get those late. We do the late games. It's been good. We've been having fun doing that game. So Cole, let's see. Earned runs. Let's see. Last 10. Is that Cole? Can't be. Oh no, I knew it. I pressed on Rich Hill. I say no, those numbers don't look right. Let's see where our man Cole is. He's allowing 4.66 hits a game. His last 10, he's allowing 5 hits per game. Let's look at his last 10. There he is. 5 inning. So he's only pitching 5 inning average his last 10 games. Almost 7 strikeouts. 1.3 walks. Not many walks. Almost 3 earned runs though every time. He's pitched 92 innings. Cole, he won 12-8. He pitched 5 innings, struck out 8 last time out against the Brewers. 4 earned runs he gave up. Last time against the Red Sox, 4, which I mentioned, 4 earned runs. He pitched 6 innings. September 7th, he pitched at home against Minnesota. No decision, no innings pitched. Something must have got changed there. Something must have happened there with that game. I don't remember. It went into extra innings though. I don't remember that game. Then he lost against the Angels. Gave up 2 earned runs. But my point being is hasn't been pitching great. So I wouldn't doubt if the over hit tonight. Something I might add, but I did take the Yankees. I think the Yankees, just want to, end this. I guess they're going to win the division. I guess there's no way they're not going to win it. But I just don't think the Yankees are going to just, coast the rest of the way. So hopefully they hit that run line tonight. Yankees minus 113. I'm on a couple other games tonight. Atlanta, Philly. Listen, I'm rooting against Atlanta, but what's that, Mike? Cole to record the win at minus 125. Low line seems to indicate, Cole in the strong spot. Yes, I agree. And that 7.5 seems almost too easy, right? So I'm staying off it. I like them at 1.5. I didn't take the team total, So yeah, I hear what you're saying. You went with the first 5 on the year. You won't go back to the well. I got that. I went with the run line. I took a shot with the run line. We'll see what happens with that. To me, that was the safest bet. I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, that 7.5 almost seemed too easy. I just don't, I don't really understand it. But hopefully, the Yankees just dunk some in that right field shot or wherever. But dunk some today, and we coast with that game. Next game up, yeah. The Braves luckily haven't been hitting well. They hit a little soft spot, and it's been months since they've done that. I mean, that the Braves seem to me like it's amazing that they really didn't take over the Mets. It really is. It's amazing that the Mets kept on winning. I got to give it to my guys, even though the other day game just made me sick. I had on the 8.5, but the Braves against the Nats. The Nats win late on a 2-run homer by Menzies and Menenzi, and they win the game. The Mets at 0-0 when they win the game, 6th inning. Walker's pitching great. Buck, and the only down thing I got to say about Buck, who I can't, so I'm so glad that we got him this year. But he just gives his pitches too much too much say. He lets them stay in. They talk him into staying in, and again they got burned. Walker ended up giving the ball over. To so he has Peterson warming up. Walker pitches out of a jam in the 6th inning. 7th inning, I'm figuring Peterson's going to come in. No, he has Walker come in. Bases loaded. Peterson comes in, gets 2 outs, and he brings in Drew Smith to face the lefty. Drew Smith hasn't pitched in a month. It was off an injury. Hasn't pitched in a month. Shouldn't have been out there in that situation. Gave up a grand slam. It was brutal. Mets lost a game they could have gained on the Braves. Now, luckily, the Braves lost last night. We grabbed a half a game. But tonight, we're in Oakland. We have to win. There's no way we can't win in that game in Oakland tonight. And, and of course, that's the only thing that's been on my mind. And this Atlanta-Philly game has been on my mind. It's Odorizzi against Nola. I think Nola, I think Nola is the better pitcher, but Odorizzi hasn't pitched bad. But I'll tell you something about Odorizzi. He doesn't go into that after 6 innings is his top, I think, twice. Other than that, it's been 5 innings or less. His last outing, 4 2/3, 5 Ks, 1 earned run. Not a bad start, but, Nola all year long has been pitching well. His last outing, 7 innings, 4 Ks, 4 earned runs. Which wasn't a great outing, but he does have a 210 strikeouts this year. The Phillies, the last 30 days versus righties, are the number 1 team in the NL OPS. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, the Braves have been hitting righties, but not as good. And like I said, the Braves have been, stumbling a little bit. I mean, they lost a little bit to the Nats, and we only needed another game or 2 for the Braves to lose and for us to win, where that series that's coming up with the Braves and Mets won't be a difference. The Mets need to solidify the division. They need that bye. They're a tired team. The core has been out there the whole year. Alonso and Lindor have been the cornerstones of the team all year long. Lindor playing up to the contract that everybody was just, giving him too much of a hard time. It's not easy coming from Cleveland to play in New York. 100 RBI. I think he holds the record, or he's number 2 in switch hitting shortstops, hitting 100 RBIs. So he's, I'm so glad that we got him. But the Mets need to win. We got Bassett on the mound tonight. But as far as this Atlanta-Philly game, I mean, I'm off the game. But, I think the Phillies got the better pitcher. I think the Braves, we got a time where maybe we can get the Braves, they're stumbling a little bit. And that's really the bottom line. This division, Atlanta against Philly, this division has been, all year long. So the teams know each other. We can go into a million stats. Philly is 46-32 at home. They quietly put together a good season. Everybody's been talking about the Mets and Atlanta in that division. Philly has put together a good season, and it still has a shot for a wild card, I do believe. So next game, Houston at Baltimore. I talked about Mancini getting a standing O last night, which he deserved. I can't see how Houston don't just run away with this game. I don't see how Houston don't win this game. Let's see. Houston is 49-29 on the road. They're still the best under team in the which is almost an anomaly this year that the Houston has been one of the best under teams all year long and still win as much as they win without scoring as many runs as you would think they would score. It's just amazing. I talked about it last week. I don't have a bet on this game, but how you doing, Rocco? I don't know if I don't have a bet on this game, but I tell you, Houston run line would be probably the only way I would go. It's getting up there. I see minus 152, 62% of the money on them. What can we say? The Astros are 7-1 in their last 8 road games. Astros 5-1 in their last 6 versus a right-hand starter. 4-1 the last 5 versus the American League East. So, and Baltimore, we know what's happening with Baltimore. They had their little run. They, basically shot their load and they're done. So Why they didn't put money into the team this year, I don't know. But they have a strong team. They got some good young guys hitting. They got a decent team, Baltimore. I mean, we said the same thing last year at the end of the year. Maybe this year is the year they're going to put some pitching, into that lineup and really make a run at it. The next game is Toronto, Tampa Bay. Interesting game. Springs against Wright. Now, this morning what did I have down? Uh, I did not have White pitching for Toronto today. Who the hell did I have? Washington Nats, that's gone. Toronto, right. There was no lineup this morning. We were thinking Manoah was going to pitch, and I had some of his stats down, but Springs has been good at home. 59 Ks in 53 and 2/3 innings. He's been 4-2 at home with a 1.49 ERA. September 13th, they had a doubleheader September 13th against Toronto. Tampa won the first game, and they lost the second game. And Manoah pitched that second game, that 7-2 game. And I had that game circled. But Springs did have 6 innings, 5 Ks, no earned runs in that first game, and they won that game. I don't have it right in front of me, 4-2 or something. But I like Tampa Bay in this game. I mean, the line is getting a little bit out of hand now, -148, opened up -139. A little money went to the over from 7 to 7.5. I never bet an over with Tampa. I mean, of course, the Rays sometimes can break out but I'll tell you, this Blue Jays team, I mean, they still can make the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens. But they had this division in the palm of their hand if they wanted. The Yankees were faltering at a few times of this year, where especially before the All-Star break and then right after the All-Star break, that the Blue Jays could have took this. They were 15 down, and look where they got now, right? They were 15 down, right? So you could just to show you that how they could have. They made up half of that. They could have made up the whole thing. It's they really dropped the ball, but we'll see. It won't matter much if they make the playoffs and then take out, and then make a run. Don't know how anyone feels about that. Razor Sharp, how you doing, Razor? JPZ, what's up, my guy? Thanks for coming in, guys. Razor, you have any picks for this fine card today? JPZ, Rocco, let me guys know what you're on. Let's see what I got next. I got my boys, the Guardians against Texas Rangers. I had Texas last night. I had the over 8, but it pushed. I like this little Texas team, but the Guardians have been my team. I've just been riding them and riding them and riding them. Tonight, I stayed off. Texas is probably the better bet. They did take some money today. They do play well at home. Texans, let's see. Yeah, it's a tough spot for the Guardians. They, like I did, just coming off the series they did, and they just been on fire. So, I mean, I'm taking this game off. I think Texas is probably the better today. But like I said, I'm staying off this game. I don't know if anybody else has that on them. What's next? Speaking of, I was talking about, Cleveland and that division, man. Did you ever think that division was going to wind up the way it is with the Twins, who we thought were going to be the team to run away with it, and they just shot themselves in the foot, just like they did last year? What's going on with the Twins in that organization? I don't know. They're another team that had this in the making. But anyhow, Detroit, and why I brought up the Twins is because these next games, Detroit against the White Sox, and then the Angels against the Twins. Detroit tonight against the White Sox. I kind of like this over in this game. I kind of think there's going to be runs scored. Giolito has not been the Giolito that we know. We remember when he first came up on the scene, how everybody was just all over him, and rightfully so. Then he had an injury, and he has a 6.61 ERA at home. His August 13th, did he face this? Yeah, he faced the Tigers, 4 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 8 hits. Last time he faced Detroit, which was back in August 13th. But Rodriguez, he I mean, his last time he played he pitched against the White Sox was pretty good, 7 Ks, 2 earned runs. But I think that White Sox should be able to get to them. The White Sox, even though they're fading, they do got the better bats. They are the better team. Detroit has been hitting though, and I kind of like this over. I didn't want to take too many games today, so I left this one off the board. But I would definitely go with the over, even though and it went down from 7.5 to 7, which I don't agree with. I don't know why. Maybe because of Rodriguez. He's been pitching okay, but like I said, the White Sox seen him last time, and I think they should be able to hit him. So I like the over. The next game, Angels against the Twins. Now it's a bad spot for the Twins. I mean, Otani's been pitching really well. His game. I mean, you gotta like an under when he's pitching. We've hit a couple of unders with him. I know me and Noli talk about it a lot when he's pitching and going with the unders. I mean, I just think it's a bad spot for the Twins. The Angels did take money, but -164. I can't take the Angels. As good as Otani is, he's not making the team better. So like Trout doesn't. So that's a whole nother discussion. The Twins, I don't even have a pitcher listed yet. So obviously I'm off that game. What do we got? You only got like 5 games left. The Padres against the Rockies. Now the Padres, another team that they made the big trade and they just didn't gel yet. Now maybe next year will be a different story. But Soto and the 2 big trades they made, it didn't work. It hasn't worked yet. But they're going into the Padres are going into Colorado. This over is always in play in Colorado. What is it at? It's at 11. It went from 11.5 to 11. What I'm seeing, which who knows why, but I don't really listen. Especially if it's getting late in the year, the money splits, the public, the shops. I pay less and less attention to that, to tell you the truth. Oh, Varlin, you got to see it, Rocco? Yeah, okay, I got you. I mean, Sean Manaea. 5.18 ERA, 5 home runs, 8.7 ERA in September. He's given up 5 home runs and he's an 8.7 ERA in September. That's not good. The Rockies against righties have been pretty good. They like their advanced numbers, like their ISO versus lefties overall have been pretty good. I think they were rated like number 6 or something, and I was surprised to see that. And most of that is at home, so we know the Rockies hit at home. The kid Feltner, I mean, I think it's going to be good. There's something about him that I liked. He started off okay. He was striking out guys. At one time, he had like 9 strikeouts per 9 inning kind of average. That was at the beginning of the season. I still remember it. But now he has an ERA over 6. If like I said, he needs some work. He's a young guy. He probably, it's the end of the year when sometimes you see rookies with these young guys with pitching. They got to get used to that physical aspect of pitching in Colorado. So I would, if anything, I would lean over in that game. What's up, Boston? Nick, how are you, man? Everything good, Nick? Big UFC weekend this week or what? You have a UFC pick to give these guys? Give it to them. My take on the Yankees, I'm on the team total over. No, I'm on the run line, Rocco, -113 for the Yankees. And I see that wind is blowing out into that right field porch, which I talk about all the time, being a very short porch. And the Yankees should. And Rich Hill hasn't been pitching well on the road. And I think, and Cole's been giving up runs. I mean, I don't know why the total is where it's at, but I would recommend the over also. But I'm just going to stick with the run line. Everything is pointing that it would be a low scoring game. So like me and Mike were talking about it before. But my take is the Yankees should smash Rich Hill tonight. That's my take on it. Whether a Cole gives up, anything, we'll see. It was 10 strikeouts last time against the Red Sox. So, these guys have seen him. They're seeing. You got to realize the end of the year, these division teams, they see each other so much. it really gets harder and harder to cap those games like that. So next game on the so back to Colorado. I guess the over would be the only look, but I'm off that game. Seattle, Kansas City. Listen, the best Gonzalez isn't that great. Seattle, I thought was going to be the team to keep on coasting. They did well for me after the All-Star break. There was a team that I was said there was a bet on team, but lately the last week or so they haven't been playing well at all. We know what happened with them in this last series. And Kansas City, just one of those teams, spoiler type of team again. I do have Springer pitching for Kansas City, and he's the better pitcher. Let's face it. He's been good all year long. His last time he pitched, he had like 5 Ks. He pitched 6 innings, no earned runs. And Gonzalez hasn't been pitching well. Seattle's off that bad series in Oakland, and I think that KC at a price, if you wanted a dog for tonight, I thought this was going to be the team. I thought Kansas City, even though Seattle hasn't played didn't play well, I thought they might have been a dog last night, and they weren't. They opened up, I think it was minus 105 or minus 110, and now they're minus 118. So Seattle seems to be fading away, so I don't like them tonight. I mean, they lost with some of their good pitches in Oakland. I don't, like I said, you just can't, sometimes you just can't figure it. San Francisco and Arizona. This game I do have. I took the under 7. I had San Francisco Giants in every game against the Rockies. I'm not sure why everybody was disagreeing with me on that one, especially in last couple days. Even my boy Nutflush Allen, who's a great Giant capper, kind of liked the Rockies in one or two of those games. The Giants just owned the Rockies all year long, and they went in there and beat them. I've only done it 2 or 3 times this year that I kept on taking the same team and hit all 4 games in the series. It was, got a little lucky with that one. But now, my theory is the Giants got to leave Colorado, which we always talk about the altitude, and they got to go play Arizona. And they played yesterday afternoon, and now they're playing Arizona tonight. I think Rendon is a good pitcher. I think we know Arizona has stopped hitting all of a sudden. Another team that was playing pretty good, kind of in that spoiler road at the beginning of September, but, kind of faded away after that. But Arizona, I had something written down about them for tonight's game. Let's see what I can find. San Fran. Yeah, they're off the sweep. I talked about the D-backs now, when I capped this game, had no pitcher listed. Now they got Tommy Henry, the lefty, pitching. The D-backs are 28th in the last month. They're 28th OPS and 25th in ISO. So they're not, even their advanced analytics are terrible. They're not hitting. They're not getting on base. The D-backs just went into a hole. What do we know about Tommy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts this year. He's allowing 5.43 hits average a game in those 7, 3.14 earned runs. His last outing was a loss at San Diego, 6-3, 4 innings pitched. Let's see, 5 earned runs given up. The game before that was at home versus Philly, 7 earned runs in 4 innings. Then the White Sox, he beat the White Sox, unbelievable, right? 7-2 in 5 innings with 1 earned run. So this kid Henry has not been pitching well at all. It does help the Giants out, but this line just seemed to be out of whack for me to take the Giants. And let's see if if there's any late money coming on the Giants. But I've been trying to set up this little studio back here where I could actually not be looking that way and setting up cameras. It's not easy, man, doing this technical crap for me anyhow. That's why I got DJ Big Boss most of the time to help me out. But I'm setting up the room. It's the room I share. I show you one day what else is in this room. You'd be surprised. It's not just sports. That's for sure. Um, let's see. Minnesota, Arizona, San Francisco. Yeah, I mean the total stayed at 8. Um, and I bet it at. Let me see. What did I bet it at? Uh, yeah, I got the Giants at 8 minus 115. I see it now minus 120. I see it at Westgate. Just moved in Westgate this game. This game just moved to minus 164 for the Giants, and over 8 is minus 120. So people are taking this over. I like the under in this game. I don't think there's going to be runs scored in this game. I don't think that. I mean, we know Henry's pitching, and that could be a little bit of an issue. But I like this under in this game, and that's what I went with. So, actually, you know what? I did not add this under yet. One, two, three, four, five. I got 5 bets locked in, and I had 2 leans. This was on my lean column. Maybe because of Henry, this is why. But I can see the Giants not hitting in this game. They haven't really been hitting that great. Um, I just like the under in this game. I might still go with it. We'll see what happens. The next game up is the game, of course, I'm interested in the most tonight, and that is the Mets in Oakland. Must-win situation. Mets need to win this division. They cannot. What's it? PZ Coors Field to Coors Field to Chase is not a huge drop off. Chase Field is the second on elevate. No, I know that. I'm just, and that's not really something I really cap too much, but it's just something that added that I just think after 4 games, playing those 4 games, they might be a little drop off in their bats, and that's why. But I also was capping this without the pitcher, and that's why I had it down on the lead column. So you got a good point, Jay. We used to cap that. It was a while ago, a couple of years ago. We used to have a thing called the Course Field Fade, and it used to happen with these teams their first game leaving Coors Field, how they used to lose. It was a thing for a while with betting in the bag back in the SBR days. It was we used to all jump on that. It was funny. But tonight, Bassett. Let's see. My Listen, I love Chris Bassett. If you guys don't know, Matty Ice knows Chris Bassett well. Matty Ice had Chris Bassett as a young kid. Um, I guess in high school, or on one of the AAU teams, something like that. I don't remember exactly what when it was, but it was when Bassett was young, and he said even back then he knew that. Yeah, they are, Mike. Yeah, they are high on this kid, Henry. So listen, I like the under. I don't know if I'm going to get to the window with it, but I do like that game. Starting a little bit later, that's something I might add in. My other lead was on the Dodger game. I mentioned I had two leads, but anyhow, getting back to Bassett, you know, Maddie told me that this kid, even back then, was just a workhorse, and and following him through his career, he's just always been known about somebody that's very dedicated and a workhorse, and he's been good for the Mets. Of course, he's had some clunkers. I mean, who doesn't? But his last start was good. The one before that, he had a rough outing. The one before last time, September 12th, against the Cubs, a game I was at in City Field, 5 earned runs. It was a tough one, but his last outing, he won 5-1, 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, 2 walks. Bassett's been well. He adjusted to New York. Took him a couple starts. I think. Listen, he came from Oakland to New York. I talk about it all the time. How yeah, Jay was a high school coach. Yeah, that's what it is. I got to get all the correct information. Uh, well, I'm hoping Maddie comes one time to New York to visit Chris, so I could uh, as he offered, so I could just jump in on that. I could be his third. I could be the third wheel with that one. Love to meet Chris and Maddie. All these trips, I've been capping with Maddie for 5 years. We haven't been lucky enough to meet up yet, but we will. But yeah, getting back to Bass and the Mets. The Mets need this game tonight. We know what Oakland just had a pretty good series, so I don't know if they're going to continue it. They did have some success, in their last game. Oakland's such a weird team, isn't it? For a while there this year, I did very well on the unders in Oakland. When I seen an 8 and an 8.5, those unders were hitting left and right. And if you noticed, we haven't seen that in a while with Oakland. Tonight, I did take the Mets team total over 4.5 plus 105. We should be able to hit Irwin. Um, let's like I said, we don't want to. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. How long we been on? We've been on 45. It goes so quick, right? And I said I was going to try to do this in a half hour. It just doesn't. It's just too hard. Too many games. But I like the Mets tonight. I hope. I don't know if anybody else does, but I think Listen, we need a division. We need to get the rest, and like I talked before, this team needs that bye. And if we could get it, I think we could do some damage. So let's. I'm rooting up. I'm rooting for Philly. Such as gambling, right, guys? Betting sports. All of a sudden, the team that we hate, we love them. I'm rooting for Philly tonight, and of course, the Mets. The last game on the card, the Cardinals against the Dodgers. My other lean is the Dodgers run line. Again, I don't like to play those minus run lines, but Mookie Betts, another walk-off hit last night. 104 wins for the Dodgers. Just amazing. What can we say about the Dodgers, right? Heaney isn't bad at all. And Quintana. Now, check this out about Quintana. When I read this, I was a little bit. I didn't know what it is. Something. This is why we got to do our research, and this is why together. Because someone else brings something else up. It helps, and hopefully this stat helps you guys. Quintana's last 9 starts, he only had one against a winning team. It was a couple against. I'll pull it up. A couple against the Pirates, I believe. A couple against the Cubs. My point is, his one game against a winning team, which was the Braves, he got hit. He got 7 hits, 5 innings. He let up 4. There was 4 total runs scored, 2 walks, and they lost that game. The Cardinals 11-4. So he has not pitched against good teams, and there is no better team really than the Dodgers, is there? Unless arguably, right? I mean, they're always in the discussion. Like I said, as an honest Met fan, the team I'm really worried about is the Dodgers. If we could actually listen, my goal for the Mets this year was not the World Series; it was the division. And then if you win the division, then let the cards fall where they may. Look what happened with the Nationals a couple of years ago, right? When they went on that run. So it could happen, but my goal really was, and the goal for the organization really was the division. Because if you've seen what we did in the before the trade deadline, we didn't do much. We got some good, decent role players, Vogelback and Nasir. I forget. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name right, but we got 2 guys, and they've been decent. Vogelback's been streaky, but been banging those home runs. They give him a hard time over here in New York. I don't know why. They like to make fun of his weight and the way he carries himself. I love to watching the guy. He talks to himself when he has a bad swing, and he's a fun guy to watch for me. But he sure as hell can't run those bases, though. But anyhow, getting back to the Dodgers and Quintana. Listen, again, he's lost against. I know I went off track with the Mets and the Dodgers. If we can get by the Dodgers, I think we have a real shot. But the Dodgers, to me, are just a complete team. It's a team that the Mets want to be. They want to be the Dodgers of the East Coast. I'm telling you that. I follow this team. I know this team. Management, like I said, didn't do much in the offseason. They didn't want in the trade deadline. We'll see what happens in the offseason. We did not want to give up any prospects. And every big name that we went off, they wanted our prospects. We do have a good farm system and a very good farm system. We have a couple key plays that a lot of teams want. So I think management was smart holding off. That we're going to have to make some moves this year. Alonso's coming up for a contract. DeGrom is coming up for a contract. That one I'm not so sure they should give, but we'll see. He's only pitched like 50% of his games this year again, so it's tough. And I don't think DeGrom even wants to be here. The difference between him and Scherzer the last month or so has been night and day. Scherzer is looks like he's just invested. he is just another workhorse. Every game he's in the dugout talking to the pitchers, talking to the hitters. He's really fun to watch. But the Dodgers, they are the team to beat. The Dodgers are the toast of the NL, let's say, and Heaney's a good pitcher. So I expect the Cardinals, and the Cardinals haven't been playing well either. Just like the Mets haven't really been playing that great. I mean, we went on that nice 7-game win streak, 6-game win streak, but we haven't been playing great. So it has the Cards and the Braves, a couple of big teams that we got. That happens with faltering at the end. So let's quickly the Dodgers against lefties, number 10 in ISO last 30 games, number 2 in OPS versus lefties last 30 days. Their K rate is very low against lefties. So what's to not like about the Dodgers? I don't like that. I couldn't give the Cards out as a dog price. So I went with my lean was the Dodgers run line, as my lean was the under in the Giant game. You guys are kind of talking me off of that though, and that's why we do this, right? The games I am on, let us get out of here, is the Mets over 4.5 team total plus 105. Yankees minus 1.5, minus 113. The D-backs. Let's see. No, that was the lead. Okay. The Brewers team total over 4.5 minus 130. Pittsburgh minus 113. Those are the games I bet. Those are the 2 leans that I have. Yeah, did that game actually go from 7 to 8 in that D-backs game? That game opened up that low. Let me see here. Am I like losing? I'm losing my mind today. Let me just check that out, because that's a big jump, right? Let's see. Anybody have any line on that? But opened up. Why don't I have to open a number here? Yeah, I don't know. I think did anybody see that with the Giants opened up this morning? For some reason, they don't have that listed here. They have it opened up at minus 130 for the Giants. That's all. Huh, interesting. All right, I'll have to check into that. So I kind of like that under. If it really did go up to 8 or 8.5, I don't know, man. I might jump on that under. I thought it was at 7. So who knows? Anyway, tomorrow noon we're gonna do light it up. We're gonna talk about the playoffs. I'm gonna see if I can get Noli to come on with us, and we'll see. We'll have a good time. Talk about the playoffs. I'm gonna keep on hitting baseball until the end of the year, and then we'll do the playoffs. And there's still some money to be made in baseball. It's winding down. I know, like me and Mike were talking about before, that it's hard with football, man. We start getting all confused, start getting all screwed up. I mean, I was all screwed up in this whole card today. But I just wanted to do some baseball. I like, I could use to practice, and I enjoy doing it. So thank you guys for coming in. Tomorrow we'll do noon, light it up, MLB. Sunday, our show has been taken off. Before you bet, myself and DJ Big Boss, we decided to do a show. We wanted to do NFL, and honestly, I try to. I mean, you can't do every show around everybody else. There's just so many. But you guys know that I would never go against anybody, especially anybody that's a friend of mine, and especially somebody like Jimmy the Bag. So once we figured out the NFL shows he was doing, then we came up with the idea of doing the late games. First of all, honestly, it's easier for us because there's less games to cap, and we've been having fun, man. Last week we had Jay Money came on, Dutch came on, Ski came on. Wham came on. Of course, I had to reel those guys in. Once Wham came on, that was it. That he's talking about Lakers, and making those guys. It doesn't take much to get those guys to switch from football to basketball. That's for sure. So that's what happened then. But we had a good time. So 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Before you bet, we cap the late games. Of course, we talk about the night game, and we talk about the Monday night game. Some good late games tomorrow night. There's some good games tomorrow. Last night, I played 3 or 4 teasers. I played 4 teasers this year so far. Lost 3 of them. I said this morning to me and Big Ragu talk almost every day, chat about our games and this and that. And I told him today, actually, it was in our chat with a bunch of us, Tease, DJ, Marlon, the Who Bangin', really the Who Bangin' guys. We have our little chat. And I said that's it for me for teasers. I won't be playing them no more. I had Pittsburgh plus 11. The way they get, and I had the over 32. I love the over 38, which I had also, but I didn't. I should have just stuck with that. I know everybody loved that under last night, and I just was thinking how the Steelers, they had so many plays that they had the most plays that they ran in the first 2 weeks of any other team. You got to figure that both defenses were a little bit tired. I mean, the Browns let the Jets win, so you figured the Browns defense was going to let up some more points. But Pittsburgh, the wind blew 3 points for us. And then the end of that game, if you didn't see the last play of that game, watch it if you really want to puke, especially if you needed another. We lost the teaser by 2 points, plus 11 and over 32, and what Pittsburgh lost by 13. So we needed a couple more points. Of course, the tie loses. Those stupid teasers. Teasers a bet that tease you. That is a good bet. How many times did you win a teaser that you didn't need the damn teaser to begin with? Both sides covered anyhow. So anyhow, that's my little rant about teasers. But the show on Sunday, we've been having a lot of fun doing it. So check that out. Tomorrow morning, DJ and Doc will be on Pub Hub with Ian and Connor Mack doing the football marathon, 10 a.m. on Pub. And what else we got? Then Jimmy does Sunday night football. Oh, Jimmy does Pub Hub and Sunday in the morning, 11 o'clock, like always. And then we'll do the 3:30 late games. So that's how it'll go. Last night, Dutch had his stream. Tonight, I believe Cabby does a college football stream tonight. I know he does one tomorrow. Unfortunately, I go against him only for an hour though, doing baseball. We just couldn't do it another time. So, but I talked to him about it. Listen, like I always like to say, we're all in this together. Sometimes we got to do things that are on the same times, but it's never in competition. It's never anything more than all of us trying to make our little stake. So let me stop rambling like I'm very good at. Sometimes I'm good at gambling. So thanks everybody for coming in. Mike M, JPZ, Rocco Rogers, everybody coming in. I appreciate it. We will get out of here. And Razor Sharp, thanks, Razor. And I will see you guys again. This is Dommy Gun Rici. Who Bangin' Sports Talk. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. See you later.